Very good. Thank you. All right, we'll start with a question from Ross.
I'm Ross. Nice to meet you. For starters, why are you interested in being a board member for Three Rivers Community Schools?
I am interested in being a board member just because I feel that my background and expertise would be helpful in service to the community, and just that I love kids. I really mean that when I say that. Like, I've been in the classroom, I've been an after-school director, I've been a summer camp director, and now I still work with kids week in and week out. Not only kids, but I work with families now too, and the flourishing of kids and families is really important to me. And I do believe that our public school is the heartbeat of our community, and I just would love to serve in that way.
All right.
Good. What is what is the most important thing that you would like to see changed in our district?
There's nothing that I would say needs to be, like a major thing that needs to be changed. I'm actually very happy with what I see in our district. The biggest challenge that I hear about, like when I'm in the classrooms and with the teachers, and I also serve on our PTO at the school, I'm on our PTO board, is student behavior. And so we are just looking for ways that we can support them. I know that they are doing lots of things to try to help with that, and I see that all the time. And so, especially as a PTO, we are looking for ways to support what the school is already doing.
Very good. Thank you.
There. All righty. When you see how the board operation takes place, and you probably are somewhat familiar with that, do you see anything you'd like or that you think should be changed? And if you think should be changed, what would you do to make that happen?
So I am new to the Board of Education. I have been paying attention to what goes on. I don't think that I would change anything. I think I would have something to contribute. I'm a really good listener, and I'm really good at like diffusing conflict and helping see other people see each other's sides, and I'm very gentle with my approach.
Yep.
I wasn't sure if Linda.
Oh, yeah, I'm done. Thank you.
Do you have any conflicts of interest, and if yes, please explain.
I do not believe so. Nope, nobody works for the district, and my husband works in Elkhart. He runs a pool building company, so no conflicts of interest, no family in the area, so nothing that I can think of.
Perfect.
What is the role of a board member?
So I see the role of a board member as the visionary role. So you govern, but you also, like, you take the overarching vision for the school and the district, and then you help give that to our admin and our administrators, and then they're the ones that figure out how to do that. So you take the district's goals and the district's vision and put that together, and then they help bring it to life. I hope that makes sense.
How would you differentiate between governing a district and running it?
So I would say governing is more of the overarching visionary work, and then running it is the nuts and bolts of how we're going to get it done.
Good. Any board members have any other questions?
I'm good.
Superintendent Nash, any questions?
Nope.
Liz, do you have any questions for us?
Does she want a job? No, I'm just kidding.
Remember when you said that, I was going to try to break the ice, so you want a job? Then we have a conflict of interest.
No, I'm just kidding.
At this point, not right now, no. I love the work I do, but who knows? Who knows what the future brings?
I get it.
I don't think I have any questions for you. Just thank you for hearing me out and for your time.
Of course. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, I think we're good. Okay. So just so it's clear too, the
You can take a
position,
seat,
yeah, you
Lauren.
can have a seat, Liz. The position that Liz is interviewing for is for the next year and a half or so. So if you're interested in running for the board, you would rerun next year along with a slate of any other public that would be interested in running. And then that would be for a 2-year term. We typically run for 4-year terms, but because you're coming in the middle of a term, it would just be for an additional 2. And that's just for everybody out there, so they understand this isn't an interview for a 4-year term. It's just an interview until the next election cycle for a board member, and then it would be another half term.
Correct.
So,
Yeah.
okay?
And this is governed by law, I mean, in the state of Michigan, so,
Yes.
yeah, so they tell us how that works. And it's a little confusing because, yeah, I get that.
Talk about the overarching. They are overarching. We follow the nuts and bolts of how to do this. Yes. Good. All right, any other questions? Any comment? All right, I would like to make a motion to fill the vacant board position seat with Elizabeth O'Green. Motion to approve?
Support?
Support.
Sorry.
So move, support?
Right.
Got it?
Yeah.
Linda and Amanda.
Yeah.
Roll call?
Julia Ah,
Yes.
Linda Baker,
Yes.
Ross Daniels,
Yes.
Melissa Patch,
Yes.
Amanda Allen,
Yes.
Aaron Noack.
Yes. Motion is approved. Welcome aboard. If you want to hang around, we do have just a little bit of paperwork. Or do you want me to just?
Do you want to do the oath right now? Or,
Want to do it right now and then,
so you get to do your oath now, and Lori is going to do that with you to appoint you as a board member.
should we do it up on the podium or?
You can, then people can hear the live stream. Oh, you did? Technology.
What'd you say? So moved, yeah, I need this if somebody supports it, yeah.
My bad.
Oh, I thought she was doing the first one.
I do solemnly swear or affirm
I do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this state,
and the Constitution of this state,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of member of the Board of Education
of the office of member of the Board of Education
of Three Rivers Community Schools,
of Three Rivers Community Schools,
St. Joseph and Cass Counties, Michigan,
St. Joseph and Cass Counties, Michigan,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
You're official.
And then you'll just sign and then print your name in there, and then
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you don't do either.
thank you.
Oh, that's your pen?
Thank you very much.
I didn't know.
Congratulations.
All right.
Yes, you can come and sit right here next to Ross.
Right up.
Right away.
You're jumping right in. We don't waste any time around here.
Okay, our next order of business is election of the officer of secretary. Mrs. Culver served as secretary on our board, so with her resignation, we need to have a new secretary. So the board shall elect a secretary from its members. Election of an officer shall be by a majority vote of the full board. Just to review Robert's Rules of Orders for electing officers, the president must call for nominations. Nominations do not require a second. And when there are 2 or more nominees for the office, the motion to close nominations requires a 2/3 vote. So up first, is there a nomination for a secretary?
I nominate Melissa Pat.
Any other nominations? Okay. Motion is on the board for Melissa Patch to resume the officer of secretary. Can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Support?
Roll call?
Linda Baker,
Yes.
Ross Daniels,
Yes.
Elizabeth O'Green,
Yes.
Melissa Patch, Amanda Allen,
Yes.
Julia Ah,
Yes.
Aaron Noack.
Yes.
Oh.
Motion passes. Okay. Welcome, congratulations.
I didn't know if I could vote on myself or not.
All right, good. Okay, presentation and discussion for tonight, the July budget update and the fall 2024 corrective action progress. Mandy?
So if you want to pull up the budget, the 25-26, it says general fund final budget on it. That should say beginning budget. My apologies. I was borrowing the format. As you can see, we don't have a ton of revenue coming in yet, and without a state budget, I don't really know what our revenue is going to be this year, and neither does anybody else in the state. So we're not alone in that. Nothing to worry about at this point. We are being conservative, as we have been since I started here, and probably a few years before that. If we don't see a budget by September 30th, we're going to have some discussions about what that will look like. But until then, I don't want anybody worrying about it. That's my job. And you can go to sleep at night and rest assured that it will be taken care of, and I will let you know if it's not. Expenditures, we have some expenditures coming in. The salaries and benefits that you see there are going to be your 12-month employees, all administrator contracts, director contracts, facilities and maintenance. There are some food service in there because they did summer school programs. You'll have salaries and benefits for those folks. The teachers' salaries and benefits, their contract goes throughout the whole year, and then it gets pushed back into last year. So it's just the way that schools do it. You'll also see that we've got quite a bit of ordering taken care of. As you know, kids are coming back tomorrow, and teachers needed their things to get them going and get them learning. So they've got those, for the most part, completed. And then there are some things up and around the district that have been taken care of through maintenance as well. So you'll see some money in there. Okay, moving on to the corrective action plan. You have in your document a copy. What I did was I took the audit and I pulled out just the corrective action plan portion of it. So there are 4 audit findings that we had last year based on the previous year's financial statements. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read you the finding, and then I'm going to read what the auditor's recommendation was, and then I'm going to read what the corrective action plan says, and then I'll tell you how we're doing it. So the first finding is 24-001, material audit adjustments and preparation of governmental financial statements, schedule of expenditures of federal awards. This is a repeat finding from years prior. And again, I do just want to point out, this is based on the 23-24 fiscal year. So that would be before I started here. The recommendation was that the business manager continue to seek continuing education opportunities, develop her skills and knowledge, and monitor financial statements closely, specifically at year-end to minimize auditor adjustments in the future. The corrective action plan that was put in place, the business manager will participate in additional continuing education and training sessions focused on governmental accounting and financial reporting to strengthen their expertise. Management will implement an enhanced year-end review process to identify and correct potential misstatements before the audit. This will involve reconciling key accounts such as due to and from other governmental units, unearned revenues to ensure that all entries are accurate and complete. To the things that I have done, I did complete a governmental accounting class. I received an A in that class. That puts me 1 class away from my CFO. Not that matters for this. So that has been done. I also attended through MSBO, which is the Michigan School Business Officials Association. That's the professional association that I am a part of. I participated in their grants they had a special grants class that went over 3 months, and I participated in that. And I also presented at MSBO on how to reconcile grants. So that is what I've done there. As far as the second part of that, I am working with Nancy Swanson. She was provided to me as a mentor when I started here. She's very, very, very good. And she is working with me to double check all my work and give suggestions as needed. Okay, second finding. Material weakness in internal controls over compliance, allowable costs, and cost principles. The district should enhance its process to ensure that all personnel activity reports for Title I program costs accurately reflect the time worked on in this program throughout the entire year. Implementing a more robust review and reconciliation process would ensure that the charges are based on actual time expended on Title I activities and align with federal requirements. The corrective action was Three Rivers Schools has developed and put in place an enhanced policies and procedures for personnel activity reports to ensure compliance with federal time and effort documentation requirements, and that it includes a whole bunch of stuff. I'll let you read that stuff on your own. And then I will also tell you, this is the first year that I have seen since the original Title I audit that we have had clean audits for every single draw.
And that's with Mainer, are the ones that's monitoring us, that's she's talking about, the one we've been under for too many, 3 years?
So we hire at the very strong request, I'll say, state of Michigan, specific auditor that audits every single title draw that I do. We've had, to count in my head, 3 draws, 3 quarters. The last one will come probably tomorrow, since we've had our last payroll. And all of those have been perfectly clean for all title. So Title I, Title II, Title IV, and Title III. That takes care of that one. Next finding is unbudgeted and over budgeted expenditures. The recommendation was we recommend that the school district implement stronger budgetary controls to ensure that all Title I expenditures are included within the approved budget categories and comply with federal budget modifications requirements. This includes conducting periodic reviews to monitor actual spending against the approved budget and obtaining prior written approval for any anticipated changes that exceed the 10% threshold. Additionally, we recommend that the establishment of a documented process for budget adjustments and approvals to mitigate similar issues in the future grant periods. The corrective action plan, Three Rivers Community Schools is implementing a corrective action plan to approve budget monitoring for federal awards, which includes developing a standardized budget tracking and review process to identify and address any variances between actual expenditures and the approved budget, conducting quarterly reviews of Title I expenditures against the budgeted line items, allowing management to request budget amendments as needed when expenditures approach or exceed the 10% threshold, and training finance staff on the federal budget compliance requirements, including the need for pre-approval of significant budget modifications. These actions will strengthen our compliance with federal requirements and ensure expenditures are appropriately budgeted before reimbursement requests. So what I do when I request, Nikki gets this big, huge, thick packet that includes all the support of every single thing that we paid for. All of them are verified by me. And then when I verify them, I make sure that the expenditure is allowable, and I cross-reference that with the actual grant document in Nexus. And then I also make sure that it's within the budget amounts. So you can have a 10% variance. We're usually on or under. I have not had a 10% variance in my career yet. So, and then after I get all that documentation ready, I give it to Nikki. Nikki takes a look at it, and she either approves it or talks to me and tells me what she wants changed. This year it's been straight approvals, and then we submit it to Nexus to get our money. That's how that works. And then we give it all to Ryan to have him audit it.
We're gonna get off that someday.
This one, I wanted to point out that they did have a typo in the audit. On page 77, they have it listed as finding 24-0034. It should be 24-0004, as it's listed on page 72. So the correct, I'm sorry. The finding, material weakness in internal control over compliance, cash management. The recommendation was, we recommend that the school district strengthen its internal controls over reimbursement request process. Specifically, the district should establish a formal process to prepare and retain expenditure tracking sheets that reconcile to each reimbursement request. They're not talking about if an employee asks for a gas reimbursement. They're talking about the reimbursement of federal funds, so Title I. So how Title I works is you spend the money, and then you ask the government to give it back to you. So that's the reimbursement that they're referring to in this audit. Continuing with the recommendation, all cash requests should include documentation confirming that the expenses were paid either before or immediately following the reimbursement request. That one refers to you cannot request money before the money has actually been paid to the employee. That comes into play when we pay teachers during the summer. So that money is accrued back to the previous fiscal year. If you draw it before they get their last check, then you'll get this finding. The district should implement a periodic review of reimbursement requests to ensure they match the expenditures recorded in the general ledger. And to prevent reoccurrence, management should continue training the new business manager and relevant staff on federal requirements and documentation standards. The corrective action plan is Three Rivers Community Schools is implementing a formal review process for federal reimbursements. That is what I just referred to when I talked about the big packet of paper that Nikki signs. Request to ensure compliance with documentation requirements. This plan includes instituting a tracking system, requiring that all reimbursement requests are accompanied by documentation, providing training for the new business manager and relevant staff, and all of those things have been completed for all of the federal draws that we've had this year, and will continue to be completed as long as that I'm here. Any questions on the corrective actions or the processes that I've taken to mitigate them?
Do the auditors have any comment about your response and the corrective action? I mean, so this comes from them. Ultimately, I'm just curious.
The recommendation comes from them. The finding comes from them. The corrective action plan comes from me.
And is there somebody who could object to that? Not that I'm thinking it should be objected to, but,
Yes. They could choose not to accept it if they so chose.
okay. And so ultimately, that means that they've accepted all this stuff?
Correct.
Yes.
We have to give them that before the completion of the audit.
Yes. They don't sign off on it and submit it until this is complete.
Okay.
And to their liking.
Okay, I wondered how that all flowed through and worked, so.
Yeah, they do all the work, and then they present a draft to us, and at that time, we develop what is called the management discussion and analysis. And typically, the business director writes that, gets it approved by the superintendent. Last year, we had a very, very, very tight timeline, so that it was not presented to Nikki beforehand. But it will be this year because our audit's coming up in early September, mid-September, so we'll have plenty of time before it's due.
Great, thank you.
Any other questions?
Not a question, but great job. Yes,
very good.
seriously. And congratulations on being one step closer to CFO.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to our action items. Consent agenda, is there anyone that wants anything pulled out of the consent agenda? I need a motion to approve as a whole, including the addition of item 11A6.
So moved.
Support.
Roll call?
Ross Daniels.
Yes.
Elizabeth O'Brien.
Yes.
Melissa Patch.
Yes.
Amanda Allen.
Yes.
Julia Hall.
Yes.
Linda Baker.
Yes.
Aaron Noack.
Yes, motion is approved. All right, board calendar, August 19th, tomorrow, first day of school, half a day for students and staff. Welcome back, everybody. I know a lot of people in this room have been back to work for a lot longer than today, but we'll welcome the rest of the district back. August 29th, no school, and September 1st for the long Labor Day weekend. And September 2nd, which is a Tuesday, will be our next regular Board of Education meeting because no meeting on Labor Day. Anything else to add to the board calendar?
I won't be here that Tuesday.
Okay. Any board member comment for tonight?
Welcome, besides that.
Yeah.
Yes, welcome.
Thank you.
I just want to, real quick, I know we had talked about having open houses on all the project stuff. The middle school wasn't quite done last year, so we're waiting for that to tighten up. So I'm hoping end of September, early October, to have the field house, the transportation department, the middle school, all of that open for the public to come see all the fun stuff that's happened over the last year and a half, 2-3 years. So just want to keep it on the radar. I know we have talked about having something, but we want to make sure everything's complete and good to go, so.
Any benefit in tying that in around parent-teacher conference time? Because we may have a lot of parents already in the area, then if we had the field house open, they could tour that as well.
Possibly, let me talk, the only thing I think about is the middle school doing conferences at the same time as a community open house. That could be kind of chaotic.
Yeah, I don't know how busy middle school conferences are.
Busier than they
Yeah.
used to be.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, just a thought.
I'll talk to Jason.
Or even if
but
we
yeah.
could do maybe have the field house open during that and then do a separate date for the
Sure.
middle, or if you want to do them all together, just a thought.
Yeah. Okay.
Again, lots of community members
Yep.
might be out and about during that time, so.
Yep, okay.
All right, any other board member comment? Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Support.
Roll call?
Elizabeth O'Brien.
Oops, I wrote on your.
Yes.
Patch.
Yes.
Amanda Allen.
Yes.
Julia Hall.
Yes.
Linda Baker.
Yes.
Ross Daniels.
Yes.
Aaron Noack.
Yes, meeting is adjourned.
All righty. Welcome.
You'll get a